ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking fast shits,
Why didn't you give us a stand, Takara? Aren't we good to you? Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Mezco Toys action figure review on the 112 Collective Marvel's Modern Captain America. If you're trying to pick this up, you can get it right now at Big.
Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
Man, I really like this packaging. It's so simple but so cool. I guess because blue's my favorite color, just having this matted blue throughout, I just think it's really awesome. And then having big old shield right over there is really awesome too. Get the shield on the side as well, Captain America, MezcoToys.com. Get some product shots of the figure over there, looking really cool. And then on the side you get the shield, Captain America again, 112 Collective. And on the bottom you can see all their social media and stuff like that, ages 15 and up. Then you remove the sleeve right over here, and then the inside of the box is pretty much the same, you know, same images on the back right over there and everything, but you get this little lid right here held together with a magnet, and I love how they have this little plastic film right over here protecting this window box, looking really cool with the figure inside. And then we have the American flag right over there. Alright, let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's Captain America out of the packaging, and wow, this figure is very cool, very fun to play with, man. I've been having fun taking pictures of this thing. Very cool figure. I do have my complaints, but I will say that these complaints that I have do not really interrupt with the fun factor, so that's pretty cool. We get a lot of accessories with this Captain America figure, so let's take a closer look at those, and then we'll take a closer look at Modern Cap. And I do have the figure posed on the display stand that he comes with, and this works out very nicely. I really like these a lot. Mezco always gives us really good display stands. I really dig them. And then you actually have the option over here to take this off and then go ahead and port this in right here, so if you want the figure just standing on this shield base, which also looks very nice. I like it a lot. Not much going on the bottom or anything. So from what I know, these are all the same accessories that we'd gotten with the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Captain America from Mezco Toys. We get 5 left hands over here, and then we get 6 hands on the right. We get a pair of fisted hands, we get these relaxed hands, we get these cap shield holding hands right over there, so you could fit the shield between the thumb and the forefinger. We also get these gripping hands right there. On the right side only you get a pointing finger, and on the right side only you get a saluting hand. And then on this side, on the left, you only get the thumbs up right over there. And all of these are painted out very well. They have some very nice wash over the red. I really like them a lot. They look really good, and they're made out of this really pliable plastic, so they're not too stiff or anything. It's fairly easy getting them to hold things, like this little ribbed piece right over there. I think they look really good. I really like them. This whole deal looks really cool. I love how this works. You just put the shield right in there and he can hold his shield. So that's pretty awesome. And then we also get a Canteen with some very nice paint apps on here. Looking really good. I think they did a good job with that. And this other pouch right here. So you can switch these out on the back. There's that little Canteen. I don't know. I tend to like the Canteen. We also get these little grenades right over here, which look very cool. We get some nice silver dry brushing over on top of that black right there on the handle of them. That looks really good. I like them a lot. Get 2 of these. And then on the back of the packaging it shows that you could store those right over here on the back. These tend to fall off fairly easy, you know, so I don't really tend to have the figure displayed with these all the time, especially putting it on a stand, you know, so there's no like specific porting, you just kind of hook them on there. But, you know, I think they're pretty cool. And as far as getting him to hold these in one of his hands, you have this gripping hand, and you could just pull the fingers out like that a little bit, and that works pretty well, you know, so I think that's pretty cool. We also get this knife. I think I did get a little bit of paint. No, I was gonna say, oh yeah, you can see a little bit of the brown right over there. He does have this sheath on his boot, so you just want to get that on there, and it's a tight fit. I actually think it worked out better with me having it faced this way. Yeah, so that looks alright. It's not too bad, but I did get a little brown paint smeared on there, but I think that looks pretty cool. Now looking at the shield itself, this is awesome. I really like it. At first I thought it was a little on the small side, but then after doing a comparison with the Red Onslaught Wave Captain America, they're about the same size. So like for your shield comparison right over here, you can see this is more or less the same size, you know, so that's not too bad. Can't really complain about that. I do like how metallic it looks, you know, very glossy paint. I feel like this blue should have been a little bit more saturated. I don't know. I feel like a little bit brighter blue would have worked. And there's no real sculpted detail on the back of the shield. It would have been nice to have that, but at the same time, I love this shield just based on the functionality of it all. It's just very easy to use. I prefer using this hand right over here, and these hands poured in fairly easy. They have the same kind of peg system as you'd get with Hot Toys. You get this little swinging piece right over here, so he can hold that and just wedge that into the hand, and then you have a magnet on the forearm right over there, and it'll stay. And I think that, well, here, I just took it off his hand, but you can see how it'll stay if I hold this upside down. That's just the magnet holding it together, and I think that is so awesome. So if you're taking a bunch of pictures and you want to be a little lazy about it, you don't want them gripping the shield, you can just plop it on there. And you could also put it on this strap right over here on the back, and that holds very well too. And come on, work, there it goes. So you can hold it upside down and it won't fall off. And this strap piece is all just one thing, and it comes separately, so you have to put it on the figure itself once you get it. Now the figure comes with 2 head sculpts. Here's the first one with the helmet, then we also got a helmetless Steve Rogers. I think this helmet, I like the color choice for the mouth. A little gripe I have though is that there's a little dot on his nose right over there later on. Might have to use an X-Acto knife to get that off there. Looking on the side right here, it looks pretty sweet. Yeah, the wings on the sides of the helmet look pretty good. Yeah, alright man, I like it. And the strap's even painted out pretty nicely. I like how the strap looks. Now looking at the second head sculpt over here, it's very easy to remove these and switch them and everything. They just pop on and off very easily. But I like this one too. I do have a little gripe about it, but for the most part I really like the sculpt. I like the paint of the flesh tone. You get these little dots in the flesh tone right there that remind me of Hot Toys. I don't know, it adds a little bit of realism to it. Like he has some dirt on his face some. I like how the eyes came out and everything. That looks really cool. I'm really digging a lot. I like how the hair is sculpted. There's no real paint detail in his hair. And a gripe of mine is I feel like they should have kept the yellow paint coming closer to his ears. That just seems like too much of a space right there. And it does look like there's sculpted hair right above the ear. So it looks like that was supposed to be painted all the way down there. But they did the same thing on this side over here too. So that's a little bit frustrating. I feel like, yeah, there's definitely paint missing there. Looking on the top of his head, the hair looks pretty good. It looks pretty good on the back as well. But yeah, I think I prefer having the helmeted version on here. Now he does have this mesh over here, and a buddy of mine, Brian, actually ruined, he had some damage done to the mesh, and that's something I've been very wary of posing this figure around. As you can see already, there's like tiny little parts right over here that look like they could get damaged if I'm not being careful. So I'll just throw it out there to be wary of this. But so far, I've already taken a bunch of pictures of it, and I've been having a good time with it. I haven't really felt like anything was really going to break. I mean, the most of it was just like what I showed you right over here, which isn't much at all. So I think this is really good. We get this nice fabric with the little, the mesh pieces are little pieces of thin plastic. So far it's holding together fairly nicely. I like it. And then we also get this lower torso with the red and white. Now, I feel like this could have been a little bit longer. His proportions just seem a little off to me. I feel like the belt could have been lower. There's parts of the belt that are sewed onto the rest of the suit. And looking at the details on the belt look very good. I love the silver paint that we're getting on this. Looks really nice. Nice little seams on those pouches and everything. Looks really good. Again, the canteen looks really awesome. And looking at the gloves, I love how the gloves came out as well. Again, you can see all the little stitching, nice paint wash over there. Looking really nice. Even the little buttons right over there is pretty sweet. One thing I will say is that you want to be careful when you're posing this around, because the ab crunch could catch some of the fabric right here. I feel like that happened to me. Move this, it actually caught onto the inside of this, so you want to be careful with that. Looking at the pants right here. Now they do look a little on the baggy side. I could see how that could bother some people. For me, it doesn't really bother me at all. I mean, what bothers me more is I feel like his pants are really high, but you know, it's Steve Rogers. He's an old-timer guy, you know, like if you know any people or you have your grandparents around still, they wore their pants really, really high, you know, so he's got that Captain America front butt thing going. But for as baggy as they are, I don't think they're too baggy, you know. It doesn't really bother me much. It allows for a lot of articulation, and it doesn't really look that weird to me, so I'm not really bothered by the pants at all. I think it looks good. We have the boot strings right over here. We got all these little pieces of silver painted out. Nice brown. Get this nice wash over the red. Really did the sculpted detail. Of course, he has the peg holes under his feet, and he has treads sculpted underneath there too. And we get some really good articulation on this figure, man. Alright, so the head moves up very far. We get a neck joint and a head joint in there, so I think that's pretty awesome. We get the head looking all the way downward. Of course, you get side-to-side movement, and you do get some head pivot. So that's really cool. I like the head articulation a lot. We also get an armpit joint in here, so that can move forward and back. The shoulders can be moved all the way up like this. I don't recommend leaving that like that for a long period of time. Again, be wary. You can move the arms forward. You get a bicep swivel in here. You get double jointed elbows, but it only it meets in a little further than 90 degrees, so that's pretty cool. Then you also get rotation at the wrists, and they hinge up and down or side to side depending on which direction you have them facing. You get a diaphragm joint in here, so it does crunch forward and it does crunch back. You also get some diaphragm pivot, and you can turn it side to side at the diaphragm. You also get some waist crunching, and it does move back at the waist. If you really want to move it back, you can go like that. And I just want to be a little bit knocked over the canteen, but you can also pivot right there at the waist as well as the diaphragm side to side. Anyway, you do have hip joints that move outward that much, so that's pretty cool. That's a good amount of movement. You could also get the legs kicking forward pretty far, and they will move back a bit. You also get upper thigh rotation, double jointed knees bend all the way in. If you want to rotate the boot side to side, you could do that along with the foot, so that's pretty neat. And then you can also move the ankle down just a little bit. It moves up some. You could rotate it side to side here, and it only has a little bit of ankle pivot. I wish it had more ankle pivot. That bothers me, but I'm still able to get the figure to stand on one foot. Now to measure out this 1/12 collective figure, you can see that Captain America is standing just a little over 6.5 inches tall. Then here's the Mezco Toys Captain America compared to the Mezco Toys Armored Batman, and you can see the Armored Batman standing just a little bit taller than Cap over here. I'm not taking down my Dark Knight Returns Batman for the comparison, but if you remember from the review of this one, that figure is just a little bit shorter, so Cap and that Dark Knight Returns Batman are about the same height. And man, I just realized this is my first Mezco Toys Marvel figure. Then here's the Mezco Toys Captain America compared to some of my other favorite Captain America figures in the 1/12 scale. We have the Marvel Legends Onslaught Wave Captain America, we have the Toy Biz Face-Off Cap, and then we have the SH Figuarts Age of Ultron Captain America, which is technically not 1/12 scale. But man, looking at all four of these side by side, I'm really appreciating the bulk of this figure over here. Just seeing him vanilla pose like this, it looks really cool. And in case you're curious, here's the Mezco Toys Captain America next to the Marvel Legends Sharon Carter, and I think these fit into scale together pretty well. So yeah, if you wanted to use this in your Marvel Legends display, I say go for it. Then here's the Mezco Toys Captain America next to the Marvel Legends Big Time No Letdown Spider-Man. I don't know, Cap. That ankle pivot's a little bit of a letdown. Ow! Oh, God, just said it was a little bit of a letdown. Jeez. So like I said, I wish the figure had a little bit better of an ankle pivot, but the fact that I can get him standing on one foot without needing the base makes me very happy. It does not limit too much at all for me. I'm very pleased with this figure. I think it's a fair price point that Mezco Toys is asking for. I feel like I got what I paid for. I'm very happy with it, and I really do recommend these Mezco Toys figures if you have the budget for it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please hit the like button. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Stick around for the subscribe circle and subscribe please if you have not yet already. Go ahead and check out a photo gallery of images over at marvelousnews.com, and you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you want to see updates for this YouTube channel. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay.
That's crispy.
They're